Deliberate and act on grant agreement 2013, 1,119, an agreement for $15,000 to make improvements for building code compliance, including purchasing and installation of equipment to the Raton Senior Center in Colfax County. Mr. Mayor.
As you know, Mayor and Commissioners, that there is a $140,000 grant. Then Ms. McLean was looking up, and we had the $15,000 that came in, and we also have like $1,800 left from another grant. So I'm just trying to let you know all the money that we have. You know that we're looking at on the $140,000 that we put in the project impact of how long project sequence and everything. Ms. McLean has already sent that in. We got that from Mr. Little and Mr. Berry and all, and that is going to be re-roofing the atrium because it leaks and all. So we're going to fix that, put new windows in. This is going to be helping take care of the things, bringing into compliance the kitchen area, correct, Mr. Segar?
Yes,
and
sir.
anything else, and equipment that we're needing in there, stoves, the range hood.
It's a range hood for the electric, not the electric, but the grease fryer,
Grease fire.
the deep fryer.
And
And-
2 ovens, isn't it?
Two ovens are, we're in need of 2 double convection ovens. We're currently
So
using used ones.
these are all the things that we're working with them to upgrade the senior citizens. And so it is recommended that you approve this.
What is the total amount of the grant?
This particular,
This particular one's 15,000.
This is
No, but-
15.
140.
The other one was 140, and Ms. McLean found that we have 1,800 and something left over from another one that had been approved
So
earlier.
we have
So we're going
141
to
or
be
whatever.
using,
This is the only one that we've received the contracts.
Right. There's
Other than the
another one after that,
1,800,
too.
that one's already been spent down, but we've received these and we should be receiving the contracts for the 140,000.
Right.
we put into that.
So basically you spend and you ask for a reimbursement, and so on and so forth. Okay. What are the wishes of the commission?
I will move the adoption of grant agreement 2013-1119 for $15,000 for kitchen improvements on the Senior Citizen Center.
I have a motion by Commissioner Mance to approve grant agreement 2013, 1,119. Any further, is there a second to that motion?
I will second.
Motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Opposed? Are you abstaining?
I'll abstain from that vote, Mr.
Okay,
Mayor.
so there's a 4-0-1. Thank you. Deliberate and act on introduction of ordinance number 987, the Raton natural gas franchise. Mr. McGowan.
I didn't know that we had put in the number because we're trying to get it in sequence. But anyway, we told you that this is coming up. The gas franchise expired in September of this year. Met with Mr. Link. He had brought in the changes that he wanted on it. He wanted a 50-year franchise, but we told him that was illegal, that 25 was the most, and that the 4% that we're trying to use, the 4% was in there before, but this would be, it wasn't on everything, this would be 4% on the entire gross their revenue. And so working with them, have not heard back from what that you have here, so it is the main thing that I told Mr. Forsham is that, one, that we protect the city, and 2, that we do not hurt the gas company. That we both need to win on this. So this is the way, like I say, this was brought in, Mr. Link brought his in, we've been working with it from the old one, and this is the changes that have been made up to this time. And have not heard anything back, so if there is a change, I will bring it to you and let you know exactly any change that might have been made.
No, we have a,
Like I say, it was out in September, the franchise ended then. Mr. Force and Mr. Lee have been in contact with each other back and forth since then. And this is the introduction. And if everything goes well and all, then we will need to meet on the 23rd of December to finalize it, because, you know, we have to, Ms. McLean got this for me to make sure, we have to publicize the title and subject matter and everything for at least 2 weeks, put one in for a legal advertisement and have it available for the people to come and see. So we will do all of these things, and so that cannot be done by the December 10th meeting. And I know you usually don't have one at the end, but I am requesting that we meet at noon on the 23rd. The regular meeting would have been the 24th, Christmas Eve. So if we'll meet at noon that day, we'll do the financial reports, the minutes, we'll do this, if everything is correct up into that time, and also be letting people know, we will bring out at the December 10th meeting about the election for the commission and municipal judge. That will be at the December 10th, and we will remind people again that January the 7th is the day to come in and sign up if they want to run. So this is the introduction, and asking.
Yeah, I just, a couple of things, Mr. McGowan. I think that, you know, I think that, just to let everyone know that because we've not adopted another ordinance, that we are working with the old ordinance up to this point, which is allowable and what's normal
Oh,
procedure.
yes, sir. Oh, yes,
And
sir.
the second thing is that the 4% that we've addressed in here is what this commission has pledged to do with all franchises. So we want to standardize all of our franchise agreements. I think that the city needs to stabilize its financial position, and it's not gonna, doesn't look like a whole lot of money, but it's still gonna be consistent with what we're doing with the rest of the franchises, just to do that. We will be entertaining some, provided we introduce this, we will be entertaining some public comment at our December 10th meeting for everyone out there that would like to come and comment and address this. And with that said, is there a motion to introduce ordinance number 987, natural gas franchise for a period of 25 years? Is there a motion from the commission?
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion we introduce ordinance number 987, Raton natural gas franchise for a period of 25 years.
Is there a second to that motion?
Second that.
Motion and second. Any further discussion?
On page 11 of 12, it states 21 years, so that will have to be corrected.
That was from the old one.
Yeah.
That was from
Oh, yeah.
the old one.
Okay, so you'll change that to 25?
Yeah.
Okay, but just make sure that, you know, but I think the motion stated that it was for 25.
Yeah, I saw it in the other terms, it does say 25.
In the terms, it says 25.
Yeah.
And the term says
So it's just a cleanup language.
that was from the old one. That was the,
Any further discussion? No? Can I have a roll call vote, please, for introduction of this ordinance?
Mayor Pro Tem Candelario,
Yes.
Commissioner Sagata,
Yes.
Commissioner Finelli,
Yes.
Commissioner Mance,
Yes.
and Mayor Ledoux.
Yes. Thank you. Deliberate and act on award of solid waste transportation bid. Mr. Miguel.
okay, thank you, Mayor and Commissioners. As you know, when we put it out the first time, it was only for 6 months, but we have not been able to complete. Our sanitation study should be done next month, and we're going, you know, we've already ordered the trailers, which we knew that we were going to need within our study and what Joe has told us. And so we rebid it. We only got the one bid. As you notice, it is the $26. I think, you know, the young man really came in way low the first time. I don't want to see anyone lose any money. I want every business to succeed. I know it's you know how frugal I am with the city's money, and I want to be a good steward, but at the same time, I want people to be able to make a living when they do something, and so we do have the rebid. It is at $26 now, and it is recommended that we accept it, and if the trailers and everything are not in, at that time, we'll do a month at a time. We'll just extend it a month at a time.
This is for what, 6 months?
3.
3.
So you'll put that in the grant agreement and that, you know, that in the case that we don't have our equipment, then it's gonna be on a month-to-month basis.
Thank
Okay. What are the wishes of the commission?
Mr. Mayor, I move that we accept this bid with recommendation for award for the City of Raton Municipal Solid Waste Transportation Contract.
Been a motion by Commissioner Sagata to award this solid waste transportation bid to Arthur Roloff. Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second that motion.
Been a motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Ayes have it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Deliberate and act on City of Raton versus Andy Holman et al. El Portal authorization to allow city attorney to commence proceedings, including litigation against the above, to collect landfills and any of the costs or expenses related to the fires occurring on the property commonly referred to the El Portal. Mr. Mayor.
Mayor, our lawyer has been in contact with Mr. Holman. Hopefully things will get worked out, but if not, then we need to give him the permission, the legal authority to proceed with it. I gave you a copy of, there
Costs
was
involved?
5,209 tons, and is all that we're charging him for. All the man-hours that we have used, which was $1,008, material 1,506, 92,000 gallon of water of 237.80. All of those things I marked off no charge. We're just asking for the landfill fee, because all of that went out there, you see what we're paying,
To offset.
we could have been putting there of what was used from the Oakdale. Anytime that we have things like this, it's not good for anyone, but at the same time, this is something that we have received and should be paid for.
This is not one of the pretty jobs that this board is authorized to do or so on and so forth, but it's something that needs to be done on behalf of the city of Raton and its citizens. So with that, is there a motion to authorize the city attorney to proceed with these proceedings?
I'll move that we authorize the city attorney to commence with proceedings, including litigation, against Andy Holman for the fire at the El Portal.
Been a motion by Commissioner Mance. Is there a second to that motion?
Mr. Mayor, I will second it.
Been a motion and a second to commence with legal proceedings against Andy Holman with respect to the collecting money owed us on behalf of the cleanup of the El Portal. Any further discussion? Not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Ayes have it. Mr. McGowan, you're good to go.
Thank you, Mayor,
City
Commissioners.
Manager's report.
Excuse me. We're going to put on board appointments every time, but, and hopefully that we can get people to volunteer to serve on these boards. It's very important, and we really appreciate everyone that has. And so I am going to be putting it on. We're advertising of the vacancies that we do have, and I'll bring an update at a later commission of where we need to go. But I will be putting it on there and encouraging people to volunteer. And we appreciate everyone that are on the board now and has served in the past. Next item, Commissioners, is Department of Transportation. Mr. Scott Kersey area maintenance supervisor has notified us that we may obtain, we had requested some millings and that they're going to give us 500 yards of millings. And we decided that we would wait until spring when the Cutler project, because he said the Cutler project is going to happen in the spring, and we're going to wait till the Cutler project is in progress and get the millings from that so that we do not have to pay for the hauling of what he was going to give us. And besides that, we'll have them dump it where we want them to dump it and for us then to use it from there. And we would not be able to use the others till spring anyway. So that is why we're doing that. Also, we told the citizens at the last commission meeting that we would keep trying to get the bumps milled down. And I hope everyone has noticed the bumps have been milled down. And so, Mr. Kirksey, thank you very much. We appreciate it. And next, one of the things that we discussed over the time of getting the personnel trained. And so I just wanted to let you know that Ms. Michaelan and Ms. Tricia did attend the election school workshop in preparation for our March elections, commissioners and municipal court judge. And I want to thank Ms. Michaelan for being here tonight. Tricia is out. I appreciate her being here and taking care of things. Next is procurement training. Ms. Michaelan and Ms. Geneva will be attending a procurement workshop, and Chris is going one day, correct? Ms. Valentini will be going, and we will start establishing our procedures for setting up a procurement policies, officers, certification, and other requirements to meet the new regulations. So they will be getting that training and coming back, and we will be setting it up. The RCI training, we're setting up dates in around January the 20th. We're waiting for Mr. Mitchell to get back to see if this coincides with what he can have for updating everything that we have in the system, having them come back in March for training, and then in June to correct any department areas, new capital assets, etc., to be ready for our next audit. We were not ready this time for the audit. It was not complete for the audit, and so we're going to do everything. I told you before, we're going to try to do everything we can to get things in order, and so this is one of the ways that we need to do it. And if we had known earlier, we'd have brought them in earlier. So just letting you know that training will be brought up. It has been brought up tonight about the meeting with Congressman Lujan. We know that we've met with Representative Ross, and we've asked the mayor to set up a meeting with Senator Campos. And so when that is set up, we will let you know when we are able to meet with him. Next item that I'd like to just bring out, some you already know about tonight, but just as families, Raton has many traditions, some old and some are starting this year. And I'd just like to go over them for the public to know. November 30th at 3 p.m. in Ripley Park is the Santa in the Park, which was started in 1994. Then at 5 o'clock will be the Christmas tree lighting. That was also started in the park in 1994, and prior to that, we all know it was downtown on Main Street. Then, what you approved tonight on December the 7th at 9:30, the Reindeer Dash. This is the second year for that. It starts at the Aquatic Center, ends at All Saints Catholic School. Then the same day, December the 7th, the very first year for the Festival of Lights will be at 5 o'clock on Raton Main Street. Then at 6 o'clock on December the 7th will be opening of the City of Bethlehem. It started in 1946 on the courthouse lawn and moved in 1949 to Climax Canyon. We got a lot of the information, and a lot of the people are still helping. Wes and Betty Brown, Arlen Swank, Jim Mullins, Chuck and Lucia Hyde, and Frank Mahana. And of course, we had the Public Works and everyone else that helped put that up, and we thank you. And these are some old ones, some very new ones. Also, the third year for the Raton Aquatic Center annual New Year's Eve party. This will be the third year for it. And then the very first year on New Year's Day, the polar bear plunge at Lake Maloya. So those are things, old and new. Raton does have a lot to be proud of.
Will you be partaking in the polar bear
Yeah,
plunge?
you gonna be leading it?
Yeah, I
When-
slid
when-
down the slide, so.
Wouldn't it be just as easy, Mr. Sagata, for you to just farm me? Wouldn't it be easier on both of us? Thank you. One item that's already been addressed tonight, but about FEMA, but I would like to thank everyone, Ms. Michael Ann, Mr. Berry, Mr. Phillips, Chief Matthews, and Espinoza, Mr. Vigil. They put in a lot of extra time and effort above their daily demands trying to get the information in the forms that FEMA required. We will let you know the results of it. They have denied most things, but a lot of our people, like I tell you, they do the work, and I really appreciate what they do for me. Next item is the Public Works Department. Mr. Vigil and his department were in the process of cleaning up the streets and alleys besides the potholes for the holidays when the storm hit. And we had Mr. Horner on the north, we had Mr. Kendricks on the east, and Mr. Button, Mr. Walton on the west, helping us clean up with the rest of the public works. And I'd like to thank the water department, the RPS, the law enforcement, the fire department, everyone, and especially Mr. Beal and his public works department for their dedication during this snowstorm. And just please a reminder to the citizens that do not put things outside your dumpster. The landfill is still open, and remember, it is illegal to put things outside your dumpster. And please help us out on that, and remember to use the recycling center. We appreciate your help. On the audit, I would like to thank Ms. Sandy and the RPS personnel for their work on the audit. I sat with them and Ms. McQuarrie on their exit conference. I'd like to thank Ms. Michael Ann and Ms. Geneva and everyone for their work on the audit, and we'll let you know when our exit meeting is scheduled. Mr. Sagata and the mayor have talked about the Thanksgiving dinner that was held at the senior citizen. A lot of people showed up, as you already know, and thank you, Mayor, for attending. Last, but especially important, we do have a lot to be thankful for here in Raton and the USA. I'd like to thank all the workers in the city. I'd like to thank the commission for helping us to move along and try to move forward. And just tell everyone to have a blessed Thanksgiving. That's all I have.
I stole a little bit of my thunder, but that's okay. I always tell everybody when I go to these meetings that the only reason I'm there is because Mr. McGowan told me I had to be there, so it's kind of fun. But I've enjoyed going to those meetings and things of this nature. I think that you mentioned something about FEMA, and I can tell you what the results are going to be. We're not going to get any results, and I think that